Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners. Today we're going to tie a black and chartreuse lively Legz nymph. The hook I have in the vise is a 5262. This is a size 12. This is a nymph hook. It is 2 extra long and 2 extra heavy, and that is from Green Caddis Outfitters, greencaddis.com. I have a 3mm bead on there, and I'm going to start out by putting a little extra weight on there. I'm going to put about 8 wraps on there, just on the thorax. And the amount of weight you put on a nymph depends really on the water that you're going to fish. Obviously, if you're in a slow moving stream, you could use less. And if you're in fast water, you need a little extra. I'm going to use 70 denier black thread. I'm going to start that thread behind the lead wraps and push the lead into the eye, or into the bead. You can use non-lead wire if you'd like. I know some places the laws are different where you can't use lead. And we're going to bring that thread back to where it would hang at the barb of the hook. I'm going to start by putting on a tail. And for the tail, I'm going to use a black hackle. And we just want that hackle to be about the length of the body. And I'm going to quickly wrap that forward. No trimming necessary. And bring that back. Now for a rib, I have a reddish copper wire. The color of the copper wire really is up to you. I like this red. It has a nice color contrast with the black. I'm going to bring that thread back. Now for the abdomen, I'm going to use black floss, and there's a 4-strand. I'm running that floss over my tongue. Give it a little wetness to help keep it under control. We're going to tie that in. And we're going to wrap that forward. And bring our thread up behind the bead. Now our lively legs, you get these from livelylegz.com. These are sized for 12 and 14. It says rust on here, but I'm using the black one right there by my finger. This was just a sample pack that I got from them with different colors in it. There's a light olive there. And you can see the rusty ones in there, kind of brownish. The legs themselves are kind of, you can tell which is the front legs. They're going forward. I'm going to trim off a little bit of that tab there. And I'm going to put those legs right up to the behind the bead. Put a few wraps in between the first 2 sets. Now I'm going to put a couple of wraps right behind the middle legs. And now I'm going to cut the 3rd pair off. If you use a longer hook, you can use the 3 pairs for stoneflies even. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that down. And I'm going to even out the body there a little bit. And I'm going to bring my thread up between the 2 pairs of legs. I'm going to take the black floss, that's almost dry already. You could just lick your fingers and get it wet again. And we're going to wrap that forward. I'm going to come up to the back legs, and then I'm going to bring it up between the legs, the two sets of legs, and I'm going to tie it off there. And I'm going to trim away the excess. Now I'm going to take my rib, and I'm going to counter wrap this, being the opposite direction we wrapped the floss. And we're going to palmer that forward. Like I said, it gives a nice contrast of a ribbed body there. And we'll bring it up between the legs, and we're going to tie that off there. And we can just helicopter this off. I'm going to bring the thread right in back of the rear set of legs. Now for the wing case, I'm using 3 pieces of Chartreuse yarn. You can use Chartreuse floss, but you want something that's going to be wide enough. Going to tie that in. Bring that on top, there we go. And we're going to secure that. Bring my thread back behind the second pair of legs. I'm going to trim off a little bit of that excess there, not a real big deal. Now I'm going to use a black Antron for the thorax. You can use rabbit dubbing if you'd like. And we're going to wind that in, get behind the legs, get right between the legs. Whoop, careful you don't pull the legs. I'm going to go in front of the front legs, checking the bottom. Then we're going to take our wing case and we're going to fold that over and keeping it wide, 3 wide. Hold it a little bit towards me because the thread's going to pull it to the middle. Give it a few wraps to secure it. Put a couple of wraps in front of it. And we're going to trim off that excess. Always be careful so you don't have a leg in the way. Then I'm going to take my whip finish. Tighten that up. And I'm going to put a little bit of head cement on there. Put a little bit directly on the thread up on top. Put a little bit on the bead on the bottom. And here we have our black and chartreuse lively legs nymph. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends, leave comments, questions, suggestions, and most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.